नमस्कार। आज के इस
नमस्कार।
ओसेंट program being conducted by Cyber Vidyapeeth Foundation and AICTE jointly. You all are welcome. I hope my voice is reaching to you all. Am I
Yes,
audible?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So this program is jointly being run by AICT and Cyber Vidyapeeth Foundation. AICT, you all are aware of it, All India Council for Technical Education. Looking to the gap of the cyber defenders and all, AICT collaborated with Cyber Vidyapeeth Foundation, which is the entity, which is an NGO working in the field of cyber defense offense education, capacity building, and working on the consulting, giving strategic consulting to PSU and government organizations to benefit and further strengthen them to rebuild their capacity and all that. So the competence building and all, you can say. So we as Cyber Vidyapeeth Foundation, we being an NGO, we all were the practitioners of in the industry. We moved out of the industry, looking to the challenges what our country is facing, called Bharat, and looking to Ma Bharati's problem. We thought like we should be working for nation building exercise, and that is how Cyber Vidyapeeth Foundation started in 2020 this activity, and now we are in 23. The great thing what we could see, like because of the support of police, means Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Education, then state agencies and all that, and the students and the practitioners in totality, I can say, we have reached to the level in last 2.5 years, if properly to say, means around 2 year and 3 months. We have touched base more than 150,000 students in person, physically as well as online. So that is what we could do, and that's means beyond our expectation even. And we understand people have felt like this is the need of the hour, and that is how they have they have given the respect to this particular program. So in today's situation, why OSINT and why these things are required and what needs to be done, and why we thought of going ahead with the program uh, on OSINT using Python. So basically, if you go through this open source intelligence, it has really revolutionized the cybersecurity paradigm and the thought process also. It is basically the area which, if you see from SANS, which is the government of US organization who is also running these kind of strategic programs and all, it is what we are talking about is beyond SANS 497, and we are doing the exercise on that. This education, why Python? Because the speed and accuracy in this particular field is the urgency. And Python is highly versatile language with an extensive ecosystem of libraries and frameworks. So that is one area which has really given us the feel like this is why we should be going for this script only and this particular thing. The rapid revolution of the cyber threat landscape means that we need to be quicker than even in gathering and analyzing the threat perception. And scalability, Python allows you to scale your intelligence gathering efforts effortlessly. You can collect data from a multitude of sources without the need for manual intervention, enabling you to keep an eye on multiple threat vectors simultaneously. Accuracy and reliability. Yes, automated processes are inherently less prone to human error. They also facilitate cross-verification from multiple sources, thus providing a more accurate and reliable set of data for decision making. Focus on analysis is also very much there. So that helps a lot. So automation frees your human analyst from the repetitive and time-consuming tasks of data collection. They can then focus on analyzing the data, deriving insights, and formulating strategic defensive measures. Herein, we get real-world application also, where Python automated OSINT can significantly benefit national critical infrastructure organizations. Helps in threat hunting, proactively search for new malware variants and phishing campaigns, targeting the businesses and the critical infrastructure in general. Herein, we do also vulnerability management, keeping an eye on the latest vulnerabilities that can impact your technology stack by real-time OSINT using Python. Social engineering defense is also another area wherein monitor online platforms of potential information leaks for phishing attempts aimed at the organizations. And last but not the least, insider threat management, which is the most important thing in today's world, which right from the earlier yuga to today yuga is also there, wherein we know because of 2-3 kind of insider threats, wherein one is the foolishness, wherein because of some thing we see, okay, we can do this and all, and that is what foolishness compromises the system. Another area is disgruntled staff, and third is the malicious employees. So we need to, this helps in critical infrastructure organization adopt this game-changing approach and offer the training and upgradation of the skill sets of the people around. So the training is here we always say zero to hero approach, starting from basic Python to advanced OSINT skills with automation capabilities. So this is basically why OSINT and why Python, and so why we have gone for this OSINT program and with using Python language as a script. So this was the basic thing which we wanted to convey to you all. Why and Cyber Vidyapeeth Foundation in last 2.5 years, we have been taking up various small programs and even PG diploma in cyber defense we are running with Vinoba Bhave University, which is a government university in Jharkhand. That is one program. OSINT with for police officers, we have already run for around 80 police officers in Jharkhand under the dynamic leadership of ADG Sri Anurag Gupta over there. So this is all about the program, and with one muktak only, कि नवीन शिल्प मधुर शैली नया रस दे दे, नवीन शिल्प मधुर शैली नया रस दे दे, मन के कुंदन को जो चमकाए वो पारस दे दे, पूजने आए गगन वाले मेरी धरती को, पूजने आए गगन वाले मेरी धरती को, माँ मेरी माटी को वो साहस दे दे, माँ मेरी माटी को वो साहस दे दे. With this, I invite Shri M.A.K.P. Singh, the CA member, CA Hydro, in the CISO of Ministry of Power. I think he has joined or not. It looks like he has yet to join. So I will just go to Shri Raj Shekhar ji, who is an IPS officer of 2007 batch and working as TIG with BPRND, which is Bureau of Public Police Research and Development. He is having many, you can say, qualifications as a feather in the cap. And he is a Nagaland, state of Nagaland officer also, means IPS officer from Nagaland. And he had been working for CBI for 4 years, and then now with BPRND as DIG BPRND, and he is doing multiple roles over there. And I think he will really give a complete feel of what exactly is this cyber paradigm today, and OSINT, why OSINT, and then why OSINT with Python. So over to Rajshekar sir.
Rajshekar sir, you are on mute. Rajshekar sir, you are on mute.
Rajshekar sir, please unmute.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity given, and all the senior officers present and all the esteemed participants in this one. First of all, I don't have a perfect domain knowledge on this one, but still I will go through especially the investigation point of view as a police officer. First of all, what is the scope? Why in the OSINT is required? The big lacuna in the present investigation, especially on the cyber crimes, is the anonymity. See, the people are using multiple fake SIM cards, and they use rented accounts, they use the mule accounts, they use open so many fictitious accounts, and added with this one, now the more the technology has been improving, you need not to go to the bank, you can open the account, you need not to go to income tax or anything, anybody can open any kind of PAN card, you can get a SIM card in anybody's name, no need to this one, they will
Hello?
sorry, it was cut down. So the PAN card, the bank accounts, the fake SIM cards, and everything, everything is problem these days. Now, for example, if you go to a particular fraudster, now you will find hundreds of mobiles, hundreds of SIM cards, and somewhere he needs to be caught. Now the question is that how to caught. For example, if he has brought a new mobile, you need a oh, there is a problem with the network. Am I audible now?
Yeah. Yeah, you are audible,
So,
sir.
so now, for example, if a person has brought a mobile, he somehow need a Gmail account, and he somehow need a some SIM card or something else. Somewhere we can have to connect it. That is the biggest challenge, to find the actual accused. The SIMs are somewhere issued West Bengal, Jamtara or Rajasthan, and it is used in South India or South India to North India, and all those things, territorial issues and all those things. That is the lack of the investigation that is going. Now coming to the Python is a language, it's a programming language. Of course, now it is mostly, we are in the era of artificial intelligence and machine learning, and we have the robotic attacks also. So the human, and anybody can create a virus or something else within few hours or something else, whatever this one. But still, when the technology improves, there are so many websites like Yandex, image searching website, Shodan is there, Recon is there, Google Lens is there, that image searching and web-based recognizing with this. Maltego is there, which is for the peoples and groups. This Hydra is there, that is the social media monitoring tool, especially hashtags and all those things. And Google Docs, that is called GHDB, that is for the index of the search. This one, pen testing, securities researchers, and all those things. Again, if you go to the some of the basics, Shodan now crawling the IP address. Now what happens? Well, look at the advancements. Now maybe 15 years back, if you want to go for an IP address search, means you go to the email, go to the raw message, and you has to physically search. Now things have been developed. Now IP address tracker, IP tracker is one of their this one. So now so many things are then. For example, image search now tiny.com is there, which can recognize company pattern recognition, neural networks, machine learning, and phone numbers also, details. So these are all get from the Python. Recognize that tool. It almost work like a Metasploit. Those who have done an ethical hacking course, they might have appreciate this recognize and Recon NG and Metasploit to identify and see the targets. What are the vulnerabilities and all this. There's another one called a tool called Harvester, especially the emails, the usernames, the host names, the search engines. So they will get all from the public information only, or maybe hidden, or sometimes hidden also can be thing. In the Google also, there is advanced Google search is there, Google Docs is there, which will give the documents, the databases, the passwords. Maltego is another one software which will utilize complex networks, hidden connections, map out relations accused with others. You can take one person and how he is related to many of the persons. You can relate one person to another 100 persons or groups or companies. It is usually for the data mining and groups, domains, and all those things. This one. Even Shodan can also be used for internet connections, devices, network services, traffic. For example, IoT, Internet of Things. For example, in the house, whether the traffic light, whether the refrigerator has been connected to what network and all those things. And so you can always find out what is the weak security points using these engines for a particular this one. Check usernames, this one. And apart from this, there are some specific websites also. For example, there is a website called Check Usernames. You put a username and it will give all the data about this one. And there is another one called I have been pawned. That means to say that you put your username or the email address, it will show that where all your username or this one email has been this one. There is another one called been verified. There is another one called census. It works like a Shodan, which gives the IP addresses, all this. Another one called built with, which will show the profile developers and all those things. Now, the importance of the Python as a OS intelligence is well known for the investigation agency. You need something, username or something else. We need to connect a fictitious account, a fictitious mobile number, fictitious loan account, or fictitious this person to a real world where he is. Then you need a lot of this OS intelligence tools to come up with. This is the one of the thing. And with the MHA, we had some of this. It has been there was a meeting, and we just I don't know whether I can share this or not. Even the government websites are all vulnerable. For example, the jQuery, Bootstrap, all these things are weak links that our departments have been working. Even in G20, you can recall that Delhi Traffic Police website has also been hacked, and that is the one thing. For example, the Ames hospital has been hacked, and if somebody looks at it, what the fraudster will get from the information that has been hacked from the Ames. Of course, somebody I have a disease. What is the use for them? Of course, it is used for the pharmaceutical companies. It is used to profile the patients. For example, Delhi in particular area, particular location. What is this one? Then how it can be? What kind of medicine? It goes a lot of research and development. All these kind of things. See, the public information again. We all give it to the public. You go to the mall, you go to the movie theater, and you share your biodata and all. Under the guise that you will get some lotteries or something else, and all things is there. Then what is the setback or where our law enforcement resource gap? It is this one. Python is a good language. It's a web application. Of course, there are other languages, Java and all those things there. Python, very good language, web application. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
checking
please.
with you. So
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all, but the problem is that especially apart from if you are not a software developer, if you are not into a software field, or if you are not into this programming code, the problem is especially the writing the script, writing the commands. For example, if you go to the ethical hacking course, and if you want to do nmapping, multi-core, and all those things with virtual machines, Kali Linux, Windows 10, Windows 12, Windows 14, or whatever it may be. So if you start typing all the commands, it is not that cut paste copy doesn't work. That's works in the MS Word or something else. You have to type all this one. Of course, upper arrow and the left arrow and the right side arrow will work if the immediate previous command is the same thing that you want to check it out. But cut paste option is not usually work in this, especially in this command prompt or in the Python language. This is the number one. Number two is the criticality of this one. Unless it is in the normal typing, you usually alphabets, but here again you use asterisks and into marks, exclamatory, not exclamatory, but other closing of the gaps and all those things. Even a gap will be altering the too much, and this one. So these are some of the problems, especially the resource gaps. Not the resource gap. We can say why the government agencies are not this one, unless and until you appoint a particular person who has done a software developer or who has done a extreme work on the Python language and being built some websites and all those things. Normal employees cannot do this. So normal investigating officers in policing cannot use the Python language in their real life. Well, of course, they can use the OS and this one. Today, if you go to the YouTube, you can see that line Python in 11 hours, 18 hours, and all those things. You can use the Showdown. You can learn Showdown in maybe in 10 hours or something else as a search engine, and all those things. Again, it comes back to the anonymity. But the people, the fraudsters are becoming so advanced with these things as these search engines, as the search OS again come, they somewhere hide and somewhere they create a problem for the this one, and that's why this one. The second challenge is that one, what is the ultimate aim? For example, before the cryptocurrency comes, somewhere the money has been parked, or somewhere that has been used for buying the particular object or particular this one. For example, a person has looted the money on online. He has utilized it to purchase something on Amazon or something else. Then we used to track the whatever the address that has been there for the delivery. Usually they give the fake address, and the fake address means something real, and they don't send their own person, they will send another person to take out the delivery and all those. In one of the case, I remember we want to catch a couple, who accused couple. Then a web was created to make the lady wife with some attractual bags or something else, vanity bags, and she gave a real address, and we able to catch hold the couple this one. These matrimony sites and all those things, this creating a lot of problem in these days, giving the fake profiles, fake addresses, and all those things. Not only in money point of view, in other points of view, these are all coming this one. What I want to tell is that if you find one problem, one solution, again the problem this one, especially in the era of virtual digital assets with the cryptocurrency. Now, thanks to the government, they have come up with some kind of a regularity, 1% TDS with no set off and set on. Sorry, 1% TDS and 30% tax on the whatever the gains you make on the cryptocurrencies with no set off and set on. That means to say that if you incur loss and if you make profit next time, you cannot have a set off and set on, and vice versa. So the government has come up with this one. Earlier, Monero kind of a transaction cryptocurrencies were not following the KYC forms, but all the cryptocurrencies were followed to make this one. Again, this is another challenge, the fund trial. The fund trial. For example, the money, now the account has been opened with fictitious name or something, it's an online, and then open an account, or you rented an account. What do you mean by rented accounts or mule accounts? In a distant part in Nagaland or in somewhere in the northeast or somewhere, there are people who have hardly know how to use UTM, hardly use how to know the net banking. They have all the things. They have the checkbook, they have the passbook, they have the ATM card, everything. So these fraudsters will give the physical money regularly and brought all this, and the proceeds of the crime have been parked there. When the investigation agency cross-verify the bank account details with the CAF, customer application form, then you land up with somewhere in the remote area who hardly think that, who hardly able to commit these crimes. So these are some of the challenges. Again, the human resource intelligence is there. Second challenge, for example, if you go to the Mewad region or some of the areas, I don't know how suitable it is to say that some of the villages, it is a gang. Some of the whole village are especially into this cyber kind of a threat or a cyber hotspot. The moment you land up there, they will, for example, if I'm from South India, or if a person from Madhya Pradesh go to there and start asking the people, how do you know these people? The moment you talk, the moment I open my mouth, they will think that this person is not from our village. Rather than I interrogating them, they start interrogating us. Where, kahan se aaya, kyun aaya, and इतना जबरदस्ती कर देते that मैं उधर से ही भाग देते. And obviously the police criminal nexus, we cannot rule out this possibility also in this era. So on top of all the OS intelligence and all those things, somewhere you have to find the catch rate. We have the location based services, we have the C1, C2, C3 type of locations, where C3 is the most advanced, where it will take it to the exact place of the culprit. Now the question is that you can ask the CDR, the location based service, services or the IPDR only by a nodal officer, especially in the district, it is the SP or in the DCP in a commissionerate system. Now a person has gone for an investigation from Delhi to, say, Jamtara, South India, Maharashtra, something else. Sub-inspector has been gone. Now he want actual location-based services. Now what he will do, he cannot ask unless and until he was authorized with the ISP or the TSP providers. Now he will send it to the DCP, DCP to ACP, ACP to SHO, SHO to the this one. By that time it will be this one. So in this way, I can say that even the IT Act needs to be further simplified. Further, we can say simplified or make investigations is more agency, more powerful, because Section 78, as you know, only the inspector and above is able to investigate the cases. There is a lot of talk on it has to be so even anybody can investigate the case. When more heinous crimes like murder and all in the IPC can be investigated by any officer, because as per IPC, any police person, even a constable, is a police officer. But in IT Act, where it needs a lot of more knowledge and this one to investigate, only the inspectors are allowed to make this one, and the police stations are headed by an inspector, and there are hundreds of cases and he cannot investigate the case, and police are obviously had to add some of the IPC sections to make it to be investigated by the subordinate officers. This is one of the lacuna in the IT Act and all those things. Of course, in the recent Digital India Act, a lot of has been made out, and the IPC also, they come up with a lot of amendments, and the new IPC sections have been come up with. Now the police agencies, we are using a lot of cyber forensics tools. This present government has done a lot of work, especially on the cyber threat intelligence on this one. We have the 1930, we have the National Cyber Crime Portal, we have the National Infrastructure Critical, this one, which has the 11 centers. The latest one is the ICIC, which has been declared as the infrastructure critical, and 11 organizations have been declared, and there are many organizations where they can get the they can intercept the calls or intercept the data, intercept whatever this one without actually where the officer is to be of a joint secretary rank or an IG of a state. We can ask interception, they can directly intercept this one. So these all the, apart from that, whatever the existing tools, www.cyberforensics.gov.in is there, or to lodge a complaint, www.cybercrime.gov.in is there. We have the 1930 helpline number is there, and all those things. Again, we need to educate the people. The people think that paisa gaya to gaya, doob gaya, but hardly they know that the banking ombudsman is there. If you go to the after a cyber threat has been made or a cyber offense has been made, they go to the police station, they will lodge a complaint, and they go to the bank, and the bank hardly says that you go to the police station and give a complaint. Obviously, because they are not the investigation agency. Again, the law, the education side, the people are not knowing the three parameters of the RBI guidelines. If you lose the money without your knowledge and all those things, you should have to get a refund. Second thing is the partial responsibility. For example, you share your OTP or password unknowingly, then maximum 25,000 you can get the money. And the third one is that you have fully cooperated with the fraudster, then you don't get the money. So these are the three things that is there with the RBI guidelines. People hardly know about these things. They hardly come up to the police station and they think that the paisa doob gaya. That is okay. It is very get to the actual culprit and all those things. And recently we come up with some of the latest examples, modus operandi with the people, QR code and all those things. Even if you catch hold of the culprit, for example, he has made a fraud of 2 lakhs, his lawyer will tell that the paisa has already given to the accused, or even more, 2 lakhs ho gaya to 2.2 lakhs. Then more or less the victim will turn hostile. Mere ko paisa aa gaya, mere ko zyada hi aa gaya. Why I should have to go with the again plus for the this one. So that's why these are the things that one. So it is very difficult to trace the actual accused. It is very difficult to pinpoint, yes, this person has used this mail, this email ID, this fake Facebook account or anything else. This fraud has been happened, and this amount has been gone to there, and this amount only has been parked in the cryptocurrency. Again, this one fund trial analysis, which analysis where you will go. It is very difficult to trace and all those things. This is the problem. That's why the conviction rate in the in the cyber crimes is very, very less. We cannot blame the investigation agency. They do all the efforts, and we cannot blame the court also unless and until you connect which person has taken the money and where he parked. And
Shekhar sir,
further,
what gap, sir, I'm just putting a
yeah,
small
please.
question. So
Huh.
what exactly problem you are facing means, do you find there is a resource gap, the talent pool is not there, or what exactly is the challenge that the number is so less on the conviction side?
See, again, the same thing. It is difficulty in the investigation to prove the exact anonymity, exact identity of the accused. I told already that, for example, a person has used the fake SIM. He has used the rented account. He has entered the Twitter account or a Facebook account on this one. Now you go to one of the website called www.sms-receiver.com. For example, if you want to open a Facebook Twitter account, you need a mobile number. You take a virtual mobile number. It the number password will come to that virtual number, which will last for 5 minutes, and it will vanishes. Nowadays, you need not a SIM, and you will get a WhatsApp call or WhatsApp message from starting with 6 or something else. It is very difficult. Along with that one, the Darknet. Now I will tell you, more than 50 lakh credit cards, debit cards has been parked in the Darknet. So many things have been put on the Darknet. Now it is how to this one. And again, education side. For example, if somebody asks you send your PAN card, I'll send it on WhatsApp, not knowing that it will get leaked. I'll send my passwords and all those things this one, and I will store all the things again on the store passwords, or who will remember all these passwords, especially in the era of this one. On the investigation agency, the resource gap especially is this one. That is it is difficult for the investigation agency to actually identify the accused without the actual identity of the accused and connecting the amount, fraudster amount, accused, and all those things. It will be very difficult for the law enforcement judiciary to give the conviction. This one. On this regard, yes, the government is taking the strict measures. It is not we have lost. Government is taking a lot of strict measures. Now they are thinking that earlier there was a proposal that all the fake SIM cards website has to be formed, and you put a SIM card. This one, it will give whether it is a fake SIM card or something else. So that is the one thing. Now, OS intelligence tools, for example, usernames, passwords, and all those things. You can get catch hold of that person using that but you need to study a lot of parameters. And for example, if you take one username or password of me, then you can guess what kind of a password is around looking after. For example, somewhere it starts from R or something else like that, maybe from you. So if you catch hold of one password or something else, obviously now again it comes to the hardware forensics. You go to the hard disk and you go to the NCase and the FPK imager and all those things. You somehow find the physical drive or the logical drive, and somewhere you find all the networking connectives. See, investigation in this kind is tough, but it is not exhaustive. Somewhere you can catch hold of the person with the proper OSINT tools, proper this one with the physical this one, I can say. The lacuna as of now, this is one of the. Second thing on the manpower side is that, see, in the Delhi police, let us take the example of the Delhi police. There is a guideline that there is a cyber police station in each and every district. Of course, in Delhi, it has been established. And even the recruitment, RR rules, recruitment rules, what will say, they have a proper rule. That means that SHO in the cyber police station should have a better cyber knowledge. He should have a knowledge qualification. He should have worked in there. Unless in a Thana, you kisi ko bhi bhej do, koi bhi karenge. Aisa nahi. So it has to be proper in the country wide. Now, still 95% of the districts now what they are, we don't have a proper cyber police stations. The normal police station will only do the cyber Thana cases. So we should develop this infrastructure of separate cyber police stations. This is the second. Third thing is that, see, the amount of forensics that are being used by the foreign countries. If you use all N mapping, Maltego, and PMA, all are developed by the foreign. This one we hardly develop. Of course, we have a website called www.cyberforensics.gov.in, where the government has made a website of inculcating all the cyber forensics tools in that. But still, for example, if you want to open a password or a crack a pattern of a mobile phone, especially after the 2019 mobiles, it is very difficult to crack. Of course, this is the thing that the companies also take, that nobody can crack my passwords or the one passwords, and people want these things. This one. But on the security issues, you need another thing. For example, if you buy a Samsung mobile, you will get a proper receipt, and in the website they will update that yes, this person has purchased this Samsung mobile with a lot of IMEs and all those things. But the problem is with the Chinese mobiles, they will not update in their websites that this person has purchased this mobile or something else. When a person has purchased a mobile, obviously he will link it with the Gmail or some email. Then we have to connect. That is with the that is stored in the company's server and all those things. So these are the things that we need to this one. Now what the government thinks, if we make more stricter rules like this, you need to give all these data and all those things, they'll data privacy, and I cannot survive with if I give all the data and all those things. My mobile will not be so sought after mobile. Yes, on one side people want to be very safe. My data need not to be this one. For investigation agency, yes, we need the data, or we need all the things that especially from the security point of view and all. Here again comes the AI and the importance of the AI and ML, especially with the 5G technology, because what BPR&D is looking for is that now we are going for a 5G hackathon, and BPR&D was asked to be the center of excellence for the 5G technology and also for the artificial intelligence and the machine learning. Now some of the tasks will come less or is made easier. Now just imagine a scenario where in the Telangana police, they are having a camera mounted patrol vehicles, where or in CCTV, where it will not only capture, it will not only record the video, but it has been operated such that one, which has been with ANPR, automatic number plate recognition, as well as the face recognition system that is there in the airports with the digital this one. Now, a particular CCTV camera is always given with all the data from the RTO office, from the accused data, from the ANPR and all those. The moment some accused has passed that area, it will give an alert system in the command control system that such and such accused person, such and such vehicle number has been passed, such and such facial recognition has been passed. Now in the command control center, now the human is there who will take out this one. Now the artificial intelligence has been come that as this person has gone to that one, he has involved in this one, his mobile number is this one, his automatic number plate is this one, his face is this one, and he has gone to a particular area. It will create a crime map. It will create a hot spot. Oh, 5 persons have crossed from this point to this point. It will intimate the local SHO on its own. Okay, these persons with such particular background, such a criminal history have come to you, and their locations are GPS locations are now GPS, ANPR, facial recognition, their RTO, their records, their all Aadhaar card, and their mobile number, their bank account number, everything. It will artificial intelligence with the proper data set in, it will give this will give a fresh data that where they are going, and they depend on. Second thing, artificial intelligence. For example, we have thousands of cases that has been investigated. The modus operandi is same. Now you give, of course, the chat GPT has been come there. You give all the data inputs about this one, including the FIR. It will only create the charge sheet. It will only tell what is the modus operandi for the investigation. Not only this one, for example, even in the judiciary. Now what the lawyers will do in the Supreme Court and the High Court, you can see that the lawyers just cite the cases. This is the case. This is the verdict given by Allahabad High Court, Delhi High Court, and all those things, and left to the judge. Now imagine all the judgments of the higher courts, that is the constitutional courts, like Supreme Court and High Court have been put, with maybe even if the trial court, the district courts have also been put to understand the modus of the operandi or how the trial has been. Now a particular case comes and the situations are the same. Now with the artificial intelligence, it will say that yes, this should be the kind of a judgment that has to be given in the past cases and the past similar situations, and give this. See, now it will reduce the human effort, and no longer that prestigious lawyers will make fool of the clients and all those things. Now chat gpt is doing that. Now that can be used by the artificial intelligence and the machine learning. And there is so many this one also, the internet of devices. What are the internet, this one, weak links, weak websites, that are all can get from OS intelligence. This one, somewhere we can caught hold of the thief or the culprit. So that is the beauty of this OS int, and especially the Python. That's why I have mentioned so many of the such this one parameters, Shodan, Yandex, and all those things, Maltego, yeah, Reconon, and then we have to go for an extensive investigation. Even though their anonymity is not seen, we can go for an extensive this one, from the basic IP crawler to the whatever the IoT devices they are using, whatever the usernames they are, make a pattern out of that one. So this extensive analysis of this is required, and somewhere artificial intelligence can put up a gap. Instead of the human the investigation, they will put all the work that what the investigator can do. And so I can see a huge potential, especially with the OS intelligence, Python, to be utilized by the investigation agencies. Only thing is that yes, they I don't know whether government can make that. Yes, you can take the persons who has a Python language, who has an extensive knowledge on using the OS intelligence tools to investigate the cyber cases, to make cyber safe domain very particular. Another thing, the internal security, the network auditing. This is very, very important. Be it airport, be it your be it companies. Let me tell you, 12 seconds once a huge company is still under ransomware attack. Till these DOS attacks and distributed denial of service attacks have been happening, despite all these security measures. If you take the web applications of this one, all our government websites are still poor. We have the NIC and all those things, but present government has come up with that some of the web audit companies are empaneled now. We need not go for the NIC alone. So we can ask for the empaneled this one, and there is a proposal that the web audit has to be done twice in a year, because we never know what are the patches in my this one, what are the vulnerabilities that are there in my website, what are the pen testing that has to be done. So 2 times audit you don't rely on the NIC only. So you can, that's why the companies will hire the ethical hacking team. They always go of this one. Maybe your company might be a worse, might be searched by someone else and all those things. Always be alert on what the patches are, what the packets are coming, what the packets are going out, what the vulnerabilities are there. Always try to put up a very huge, this one, data become a very huge problem, especially in the ransomware attacks in the companies and all those things. To that level, corporate level, our government websites, our government companies also need to gear up this one. We hardly give much towards this one. Okay, हमारा website चल रहा है, हमारा department का website चल रहा है, and we never know where it all ending up. As I know, as I already told, what are the where it will be land up. It may be landing up in in the Darknet or wherever it is, and somebody is stealing all my information and all those things. So the efforts are going on. So what I can say that the Python language has to be learned by our investigating officers, especially who are doing the cyber crime. This one. And all these things. This is the number one. Number two, somewhere we are going for an advanced level. Now, still we are with the IP and all those things. These jamana to chala gaya. Now we have you can steal an IP, we can create an IP, we can make a IP, we are using the VPN, fake VPNs, all whatever steps police take, next day or immediately this one, especially the zero-day attacks. So everything has been come. We need to develop such kind of capabilities with our investigating officers. That is, the research has to be done on this one. Python language, voice intelligence tools. Of course, we run a lot of courses on voice intelligence tools in our training institutes, NPA and our CDTA, Central Detective Training Institutes, conduct a lot of courses on this one. But again, it will only a 5-day course, and the moment they learn it and they just go to their fields and respective areas and forget whatever they learned, and they hardly open even the disk or reading material that has been given. Somewhere we need to pull up our socks, especially with the this one, what is available as of now, the public search domains, and we can get a lot of these things from this. And not to forget, the human intelligence also works a lot, and human work has to be there. Of course, the computers, emails, network, and all those things are there. We need to, with them, from the law point of view, also from the logistics point of view, also cybercrime police stations, also we need to be gear up this one. So what I can say, it's a multi-pronged approach. Where the government of India is taking the initiatives, and we need to develop all these kind of capabilities with our police investigation personnel. So I don't know how much relevant I talked, or how much it was this one. I'm looking for other speakers to make me wiser, or this one. Thank you for the opportunity once again, and I'm looking for your guidance, or your comments, and other experts and the participants who are working on the field. I really need their feedback, their expertise on this one. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Namaskar. It was pleasure listening you, and you threw a lot of input on what the challenges you are facing through, and what the government of India MHA is facing. And yes, from that only I could take the link that the resource gap is huge. At the same time, even if the cyber police station has been made, people are not equipped to the level of with the knowledge. Maybe they do have the equipment and all, but the knowledge, how they are going to really finally charge sheet that culprit. If the charge sheet is not done properly, what the cross examination will be done, and what the judgment will be coming. So all the things are linked to the knowledge. So tools are here, and I would add on further on this particular thing, like we do have all the tools in our country, but who has made the tools? The country. Means in this geopolitical situation, nobody is your friend. So you have to think from that perspective, just the country which rejects the highest number of visa, means tourist visa, the country called US. We are using their tool, means the design of the tool has been done by them, and at the same time manufactured by whom? The country who are the worst adversary of our country, China. So they are the manufacturers, they are the worst adversary. The designers are not even keen to really pass
So,
through our
okay, I forgot to add
every
one
challenge.
point. One point, if you allow me to speak.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, in this one, see, all the tools, most of the tools have been made by the foreigners. But the present government with Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India program, they have entrusted the BPR&D to conduct the 5G hackathon also. In fact, the last month, August 8th to 10th, we conducted the Kavach hackathon. What is this Kavach hackathon? It is basically on the cyber security. This one, we identified 20 problem statements. We elicited all the states. We listened to the states, state polices, and we listened to what exactly is the present day cyber security challenges. Those security challenges were converted into 20 different problem statements. Then we thrown these 20 problem statements to the academia, to the organizations like you, the industries, the IITs, the youth, and all those things. So this is the problem statement. You come up with a particular app. For example, the obscene photo detection, obscene material, or fraud, fake news detection. This is one of the, or maybe that was one of the problem statements. So 20 problem statements,
Yeah.
we received 3,900 applications. Now 3,900 applications based on their inputs, what their suggestions. We narrowed down to 106 applications, 100 from this one, 6 from the startup. And we identified 5 nodal centers. And 5 nodal centers, these 106 teams went according to their problem statements. They sit for a 36-hour hackathon, and they has to go there. Their team has to develop a particular tool or an app and give as a solution. And there were industry experts. There were an expert from our department, from the HIFOC, from the AICTE, who will check whether that proof of concept, what we call it as the proof of concept. Of course, everything cannot be built on their own. They can get Python or GitHub libraries and all those softwares. That is okay. But whether the idea is okay, workable, and all those things, we checked. And later on, the Union Home Ministry in the way incentive, we have given encouragement by giving the prizes for them. And now we are going for a 5G hackathon. So I request all of you to go through that one. In a few days time, we will set up one 5G hackathon website also. We will throw the 10 problem statements that is basically coming. I cannot divulge all the details, but look forward to this 5G hackathon. Encourage your children. Your children may be studying in a very international reputed information technology schools. Ask them to come up with a team. Go through the problem statement. Let they give their ideas and all those things. Let they be interviewed by us. Then we will choose, and let they prepare some particular tool or app. Secondly, this is not that we are expecting that you should have to prepare a tool which is better than the Americans, better than what the industries have done. No, we are just elicit your innovative minds. We want you to kept busy, and especially with the cyber issues, 5G use cases, especially in the policing. How's the 5G use case? Of course, I told about one of the 5G use case, command, control, and center. Like that, you come up with different solutions and all those things. I encourage all the participants here. You please ask your children or your persons wherever they are working to come up with the solutions for the problems that statements that we are going to through on the 5G hackathon. This one. Yeah. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Mm.
Now with this, I would invite Air Commodore Niranjan Kumar Pari, the retired officer, the person who had been doing a lot of activity in this cyberspace for years together. He is a master from IIT Bombay. Air Commodore Pari has served in various appointments in the Indian Air Force, including 4 tenures of commanding officer as the Chief Technology Officer of the largest network operations center and data center of Indian Air Force, as Chief Operation Officers for a sensitive tri-services organization. He was Principal Director IT in the IAF and founding member of Defense Cyber Agency, the only organization of its kind under Ministry of Defense. He has executed a large number of communication, IT, and cyber projects in the armed forces. He is a certified cyber security expert, and his views will give further expertise, means knowledge of his expertise area. So over to Air Commodore Niranjan Pari. So please.
First of all, thank you for introducing me, Dr. Sushant. And also I thank Mr. Rajshekhar for a very stirring talk and a very passionate talk. In fact, though Shashank sir has been very kind to say good words about me, yes, I have spent about 33 years in Indian Air Force in communication, IT, and cyber. So, last year, June, I retired, and I'm still continuing with a startup here in Bhubaneswar, which is into training on cyber, and I am passionately involved in this. I have lot of things could be has already been covered by Rajshekhar sir, but I wanted to tell you that the problem he has told, the participants might be thinking that he has only talked about the problems. The problems are of very big magnitude, especially in the field of cyber. Just to tell you a few examples as per the statistics printed in the print. So in 2017, there were only 53,000 known cases of cyber incident. Known. That means whatever has been brought to the notice of the government of India. Okay, known. But in 2018, this figure was 208,000. And
Right.
and 2019, this figure was 394,000. And come to 2021, for which the government has published this data, it is 14,000, 14 lakhs plus. So there has been a reporting of nearly 28 times of the cyber incidents in this country. And let me tell you, whatever has been reported, there are at least 3 to 4 times more that has not been reported. Like Rajshekhar sir told, that many people think छोटा सा पैसा है, कोई बात नहीं, चला गया गया, लेकिन किस लिए जाना है, पुलिस के पास क्यों लगाना है, क्योंकि वो कौन चक्कर काटेगा. Everybody thinks यार छोटा सा अमाउंट है, 10,000 5,000, पुलिस का चक्कर नहीं काटना है. So therefore the percentage of reporting of cyber crime is much lower than whatever actually has happened. And just imagine if it is in 4 or 5 years, the growth is 28 times. Do you have the police force? Do you have the forensic capability to do investigation to this extent? I'm sorry to say, we are not yet geared up for this. And this growth in cyber incident has been phenomenal in India because of COVID also. Because a lot of people during 2020 to 2022 were jobless. They started learning new skills, and the easiest skill is to do a fraud. Easiest thing is to sit down in Jamtara and in other areas and commit a fraud, and because that is the easiest way to make money. But this is the fact. See, in 2020-21, Jamtara and one odd places were known for such activity. But today, there are 21 places in 9 states, and mostly the 3 states, that is Delhi, Rajasthan, and Haryana. The place called Mewat. In fact, Rajshekhar sir has already referred about it. And there is a place also called NU, N-U-H, NU, where the cyber criminals are sitting there and acting on the people who have low knowledge, poor knowledge. Even rich and famous people are getting caught in the web of this cyber crimes. This is because everybody feels that this is the easiest way to make a money. The phishing attack, especially the phishing, that is phishing through a call, voice call, is so predominant. I must tell you, confess, that 5 times they have at least tried with me. But in spite of being in the field of cyber, it is so difficult to disconnect a call, because they'll say, sir, 1 minute dijiye, sir, 1 minute dijiye, 1 minute. Sir, आप कुछ हम आपके बैंक अकाउंट खुलवाना चाहते हैं. So they will come in many forms and many shapes. So therefore, it is so difficult to build up a capability of the magnitude that this country requires. Yes, the scaling up has happened. By virtue of being in the Defense Cyber Agency, I have attended many meetings, monthly meetings with National Cyber Security Coordinator, who works under National Security Advisor. And it is a good thing I wanted to bring out to this audience, that India has progressed quite a lot in last 3 years, because government of India felt that bringing everything, all the agencies on the aspect of cyber security under one umbrella, so that the coordination becomes good. And the other thing that has happened is DOT also has made some changes into the archaic Telegraph Act rule, the Telegraph Act, because of which we were not able to disconnect telephones, or we used to catch the culprits who had multiple telephone SIM connections. So when Rajsekhar sir says the SIM connection, number of SIMs, number of accounts held by a person is too many, he is spot on this aspect, that it is so easy to get a SIM card, and but the screws are getting tightened on the operators also. Let me tell you, with whatever little knowledge I have, that the screws have been tightened around the operators. They are not, if there are more telephones or more SIM cards, then I think 8 is the maximum number one individual can have. But beyond that, if there are more, then their noose is tightened against these operators, and they are asked questions, which was not happening, say, 5 years back. Other aspect is, even if the forensic capability keeps rising, but what about the talent? Especially the cyber security police station that he was referring to, it's not possible to build up the capability without having a proper system of training. As on today, there is no institutional process of training large number of people on forensic analysis, because whenever you go and give a complaint to a cyber security police station or cyber police station, they have to confiscate the device. But even if they confiscate the device, do they have the wherewithal to do the forensic? I am sorry to say, this is very limited, and especially in states which are not very proactively following a cyber security training program. And say Delhi is, you cannot take Delhi as a benchmark, because Delhi is the national capital. Delhi has got all the big institutions, Government of India and Government of Delhi. They are having a lot of funds to do training, procure the tools, but every state does not pay that kind of attention to cyber forensic. And therefore, I always felt, while we are having the large problem of cyber crime, we have to scale up our forensic capability by quite a large volume. That means multiple times. Without that, it is not possible to complete the crime investigation. To bring you a small example, even armed forces, we have our own cyber security, cyber forensic units. But let me tell you, with the kind of capability and all, we still do not have the capability to carry out a forensic analysis in a defined period of time. There are backlogs. Defense Cyber Agency also has its own setup of labs, which we have established after Defense Cyber Agency came into being in 2020. But this capability also is not as much as we also require. So therefore, we have to look into cloud implementation of forensics. That means we have to create a huge infrastructure and have resources to run this infrastructure in every state separately. Huge infrastructure for the state, and maybe few such infrastructure at the national level. So then what happens is, there is no problem of the licensing, because otherwise what happens is, whenever you establish one cyber forensic station, you create so much of license, you buy and then establish, and then thereafter you start training, and it takes a lot of time to build up that capability. By the time you are capable of, say, handling 100 cases per month, but the number of cases has reached 500. So how will you effectively scale up the capability of the police, especially with respect to forensic analysis, is a point we have to all think about. Other aspect I wanted to bring is, so in everything in cyber, there has to be 3 P's associated. One is people, Then second is process, and third is the process has to be driven by a passion. But unfortunately, the numbers are so large, it's not possible to complete the task, because crime takes a few planning for few hours, few days. But forensic analysis is an art which cannot be done by everybody. It has to be done by professionals who can really find a needle in haystack. It is difficult to gather that evidence among so much. And let me tell you, today's smartphones have 128 GB memories, 256 GB memories, 1 TB memories. The laptops today come with 1 TB memory. So whenever you capture somebody's device, to carry a mirroring of that hard disk takes some time, which is lesser. But to analyze everything, and like Rajsekhar sir told, to crack the password itself is not possible for all the new generation devices. So how do you carry out investigation? So therefore, it's not easy. Even if you have the technology, you have the manpower, you do not have the training. So how we can scale up this operation is a challenge. And from this challenge, we have to get into a solution. So what solution? Yes, automation. And programming concepts of Python gives you a fair amount of automation. And with programming knowledge of Python and scripting, basically the scripting capability, our processes can be made faster. That's where this course will definitely play a big role. And that's why I fully agree with what Rajsekhar sir told about the capability building. And I'm really happy to hear that he's spearheading this capability of hackathons among the youth of today. And if really our younger generation take part in such hackathons, then we can really build up a good force. I just wanted, since I am from forces, I just wanted to bring to your notice certain inputs about our immediate adversaries. Okay, to be very frank, with Pakistan and China, both mounting cyber attacks in thousands and thousand times more than what we are capable of doing or we are doing on others. First of all, the force level in these countries in cyber field are much, much higher than what we have. Maybe I would just bring out one such information for the benefit of all. In Chengdu province, there is an university where research scholars, these are all proper PLA cadres, but they are employed as research scholars in the university, and they have nearly about 130,000 researchers. They are known as cyber security researchers, and they are just doing research and developing the tools, techniques, basically TTPs. They are doing all this to create a pool of resource, and they can utilize this pool of resource as and when they want to. And even in Pakistan, see, in spite of all our preparedness, Pakistan and China mounted tremendous amount of attack on India's infrastructure for G20 programs. So we all know that. In 4 days back in Odisha, I came across a news that the number of cyber frauds are so large, they are not ready to take up, file a case under IT Act. They are only putting it under IPC. So why? Somebody asked, why are you doing this? He says, first we'll do IPC, and if we are convinced and narrow down that yes, it is a cyber crime, then only we will take it as on the IT Act route. So what I am trying to say is, if we do not build up the capability today, then our tomorrow is not looking very beautiful, or it's not looking very progressive. So how to build up capability in-house capability, the capability that we can utilize when we require them, is a point which all of us have to think in right earnest. I think this is where we have to focus, and definitely Osint with Python will be a great learning experience for all the participants. With as regards to Osint, I must tell you, uh, we in Defense Cyber Agency have some capability, and in recent past you must have heard about this Canada Seek for Justice and all those things. So 3 years back, this gentleman, Mr. Panoon, was every third day creating at least 25 to 30 websites, okay, and spreading all this, all his ideals. And someday he will have 5 websites in UK, 5 websites in Canada. And this is where we utilized our capability in Osint to link all of them to this person. So what I'm saying is, it is a very, very powerful, Osint has got some very, very powerful tools where we can narrow down to the person, narrow down to a group, narrow down to an individual who is perpetrating, all these processes. We have many a times found all these, things that are originating intelligence things, or what you call those social media posts linking to some army officers in Pakistan. So had it not been to these tools, it is not possible to narrow down all these Twitters, all these social media posts to few individuals. But they have employed a large number of bots. So bots are playing havoc in these social media platforms. Therefore, you have to narrow down and really find out separate the bots from the individuals, and then narrow down your options so that you can also do a focused denial of all this, canards that are playing in the media. So this is very important tool. And second aspect is, these tools have to be developed in this country. We, as Rajsekhar sir has told, that every time, even Shashank sir also told, every time we cannot depend on the tools that has been made outside this country, implemented by in the machines supplied by our adversary. We have to build our own capability. And that way, we can say that a good beginning has already been made. And I think this is a step in right direction. So if we can make our own tool, in fact, some tools are being made by CDAC, some forensic tools have been made by CDAC Trivandrum, and some other tools are being made by CDAC Hyderabad. As per my information, when I was working in Defense Cyber Agency, we had evaluated some such tools, but the number of tools have to grow. And if we do not have the tools, I think the practice of using open source tools also must be encouraged. So that is very important, because there are a large number of open source tools for Osint also, for forensic also. So this is another track in which we can all move forward and take the country also forward. Other aspect I also wanted to tell is that a thief or a fraudster is concentrating on few persons, but the police has to protect the entire population. So it is not possible for the police force to counter this fraudsters, these criminals, unless their numbers are large. So what is important is the citizens also have to do this job of policing to some extent. That means we have to keep our ears and eyes open. It is that I cannot keep my eyes shut because it's not my house, or somebody's house is getting ransacked, or somebody else's money is getting looted, or somebody else place is getting vandalized. If we know that there are places like Jamtaras, there are Asansols, and there are places like Chittor, Mebat. So people in and around that area should know who are these perpetrators. If they have come from outside, from somewhere, and they have set up their shops there, then why the people around there are not complaining that 40, 50 young boys are doing something in a small dingy room? So this is what is like, they must at least go and tell police, oh, we see some new faces in this state, in our town or in our village, and they have come recently, we do not know. So let there be some verification. So we have to be the eyes and ears of our police forces. Otherwise, for them it is very, very difficult. So intelligence is not the only job of police or intelligence agencies. Somebody else, a common man, also can help in giving intelligence to all of us, or all the law enforcement agencies. So can we do it? Is it possible? Yes, we can do it very much. You don't have to go to the police station and tell everything, I am so and so, so and so. There are many other ways to inform them. If you want to remain anonymous, it is possible to be the eyes and ears of the forces, of the police, of the law enforcement agencies. I think this is another step we have to be very, very careful about. If we are thinking good about our country, we are thinking that we should have our citizens, not attacked by these criminals and not get looted looted by these guys, and they lose all their hard-earned money, then we have to be little proactive. I think this is what I wanted to share. And in case any participant wants something else to be answered, I should be able to, drive forward my answer in that direction. Thank you very much, Sushant sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. It was very insightful and provoking discussion given by you. I'm sure all our friends from Army, Air Force, Navy, students, and then the professionals from banks and the industry, they must have heard about the complete insight. Now, after listening about the cyber crime and all, I would request the power carrier of our country called Bharat, Shri Anand Shankarji. Is an engineer by profession and the chief general manager over there in Power Grid of India. He is the alternate CISO and very, very person knowledgeable in the cyber defense domain and practitioner for last more than 20, rather around 30 years. He is working with that company. I would request Shri Anand Shankar to take over now. Shri Anand Shankar.
Thank you, sir. I'm audible?
Yeah, sir.
Thank you. And it's a very great moment for all of us who are in various sectors fighting this menace of cybersecurity in our own realms and have their own unique challenges. We have heard definitely from Rasekar sir and Padi sir, and definitely cybersecurity in these domains are a number of challenges they have dealt about. Particularly in infrastructure sector, in industrial control systems, is a totally different challenge. because most of these setups are isolated for the very security of the system, and thereby many of these systems require a different level of intelligence to undercover the operations which might be hiding behind a system which is idling, a system which is maloperating, or system which is working normal but waiting to go into an attack mode or becoming a victim of such situations. So therefore, it becomes very important that people who are manning these infrastructures are having appropriate tools, knowledge, and skills, and it plays a very fundamental role in terms of cyber defense of these critical infrastructures. The problem in these domains is that most of the people at the working level and at the management level are also from the core branches. They are not from the computer sciences or even those people who have been in conventional IT. They have difficulty in coming to terms with what is the challenge with regard to cyber defense. Now, this is where we require a new genre of engineering people who come up as probably these days as specialized courses at MTech level from engineering colleges, who get a primary insight into what goes into cybersecurity. Therefore, courses like this is very important for practicing people and also new upcoming people, students, to figure out what is it takes to join as a cybersecurity career. To me, cybersecurity is an epitome of a lot of skills within the IT domain, with a new knack of cybersecurity, which was missing. Engineers have been mostly creative in creating a system, running a system, rather than breaking a system. When a system breaks, their job is primarily to get the thing up and running at the earliest. That is the challenge with regard to cyber in the industrial systems. And such critical systems are vital economic arms of the nation. And the compulsion here is that we have to have a lot of cooperation and collaboration with multiple international suppliers. And therefore, the supply chain risk in from cybersecurity standpoint acquires a new threat which needs to be understood, because there are no such commercial terms which are cross-border, which have some legal framework of understanding, which can be brought into a contractual framework, and particularly in the event that the system and services which you are going to install today is going to have a very long operational life. So if you have a system which is having a long operational life of 10 years, 15 years, then the technology and the people who are associated with that, and those who are going to man such infrastructure and reap benefits which are financially very important and required to remain at a very low cost, so that the larger economy benefits from such low input costs. Nobody would like to pay 30 rupees as charge of electricity. Okay. So people want to have a low cost of electricity. Now, when you cut down the low cost of electricity, there are a lot of things which are required to be factored in, and cybersecurity is a new requirement in that direction. Well, most of the automation in the power sector is now going in the IT direction. Embedded IT stack is given fact of the day. Almost more than a decade back, these kind of automation systems have now started dotting the industrial infrastructure in various substations and generating stations and discoms. It is very important that the people who are manning this from not only from the owner utilities, but also from the system integrators, but also from the suppliers, they all join hands together to fight this menace. Now, this is something which is across the international community, where people have been working on this. And there are challenges with regard to labs which are required to be set up in the country to not only test the products, but also collect the industrial forensics. See, crime and cyber forensics, which we are been talking about, is something which is fairly large scale, and therefore it has a problem of enormity. Now, in industrial, the sample data where you would find such thing is very less. And therefore, still the challenge is to prove a particular entity as a properly suspect. So that is where no, we require a different skill sets, and the tools in such a regard is very important. And therefore, Python is something which is fundamental to my insight. That Python, I have been familiarized with Python with more than 20 years, and I have been seeing the Python community grow. The biggest benefit of Python is that it's a glue language. It can glue with any of the existing ecosystems, and it can connect and talk to such stacks, and extract and data and manipulate the data for your analysis. Now, whether it is Windows, whether it is Linux, whether it is Macintosh, whether it is FreeBSD or some other embedded, you have a portion of Python which is possible to be interfaced with. And we require people who understand not only the legacy infrastructure, but also a glue language like Python. And another additional important point which I must say is that Python has been taken on as one optional language in CBSE almost a decade back. And therefore, there are a large number of people who are already having some familiarity with Python. And with given incentives with courses like this, I think we'll have more and more young people who will be willing to refresh what they did in school. And if they did not have any opportunity in the college, that we can now do it far easily. One thing which is more important is not only importance from the investigation purposes, which is fundamentally the base, but also people who will get into the judgment, the judiciary part. So they need to understand what are the basics for cyber investigation when they are put up as a case to the judge. The competence of the judge and the judiciary in these areas is also very critical. Now, this is where a huge challenge comes in, and we need to have these kind of courses, which are we need to have more widespread. And it's not only among the students and engineers, but also among other decision-making disciplines. For example, management schools. Management schools are presiding over these kind of industrial organizations or the administrative services, and we need some angle in such management schools so that people come in equipped with cyber skills which are fundamental to governance. So governance is a very important aspect of cyber security, and each organization now has a role in terms of cyber security, not only the defense part of it, but also recognizing the values behind the red team and the blue teams, and how these things will contribute to the stability of the business they are in, and also the long-term resilience from such critical attacks. So I congratulate Cyber Vidyapeeth Foundation to have undertaken this kind of an initiative, and I'm really impressed by the large number of courses and the way they have been going around and spreading this message. I am really hopeful that the people who are joining this course will definitely get benefited, and we definitely will carry forward the message which we take as part of this course. I hope that people who are here, they will come also the trainers in their own right, and spread the message of cybersecurity in their endeavors wherever they are. Thank you, sir. Congratulations once again for doing this wonderful course. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I would also like if you can share some experiences of your sector, which you have already come across on the challenges, so that people should understand what is the cyber paradigm in industry, because cyber crime has been thought over much, but whereas the industry challenges much more serious than these small cyber crime, which is, yes, it is related to individuals, so naturally we get panic. But at the same time, if industry, any infrastructure, critical infrastructure collapses, then what? So can you just throw some light on that? Yeah.
I think I mentioned that the problem here is that the infrastructure is more built to perform the delivery of the core functions. So my job as a power sector person is to deliver electricity, to create infrastructure which is to deliver electricity. Now, definitely, there will be a lot of demand of such people who are delivering their aspects into their roles into this kind of systems. But this security aspect is so far has been seen more from a physical security standpoint. And the physical security is traditionally kind of outsourced to ex-servicemen and local law enforcement agencies. But cyber security is an internal security challenge where the people who are dotting the landscape and also the suppliers, they need to have a cooperation. So this is where the power sector we have got through together, and we have drafted CA guideline on cybersecurity for all utilities to follow, and which requires a lot of compliances to be undertaken by other organizations. But the point here is that we need to move beyond the compliances, look into the very fundamental basics. And that is where the cooperation of people who are into these kind of courses, they will come in, and they will dot both sides, the supplier side also and the end user entity also. And the industrial things also needs to be improved in terms of diagnostics, the cyber checks. The checks which we do, we need to figure out what is wrong here. Many times what happens is in such situations, the settings are left to defaults. So the default settings gives a convenience to large number of participating and cooperating setups, not only of the equipment themselves, but also of the people and the support teams. And this is where the lacuna comes in, that cyber security requires them all to be changed. And therefore, it requires a cultural change to switch to a new role-based access control mechanism, electronic security parameters, the data which goes into the packets which are being manipulated, and what do this mean? So the forensics data requires a different kind of expertise. It's just not the core functionality, and therefore we require these kind of tools which are more based on open source technologies rather than proprietary Windows based, which has been the dotting the tool sets and the various industrial control system environments. So I believe these kind of tools with people who are coming in, particularly open source intelligence tools, they will be able to analyze the data packets and the network traffic and figure out what is not right in the system and take appropriate action, and put such scenarios which will strengthen the cyber resilience of the defending team, and also take up with their suppliers and identify the people who are indulging deliberately into wrong tactics. This is a very sophisticated issue of supply chain, and which is only evolving at the moment. I think the telecom sector has already gone ahead with a framework by which they are actually able to filter out vendors who are probably not falling in line with the best cyber practices, and also the products which are old in design and which require to be phased out. So with similar activities, we require industrial cooperation among various participating utilities. And it's a very important aspect of cyber supply chain, which requires probably more tools, and more tools need to be developed locally, because we are mostly at the receiving end in such critical infrastructures. I think with that said, I would rather like to close. If you have any more specific questions, we can take up. I will be attending many of the sessions along with other participants. Let me see out of a very busy schedule how much I can take it up, but then I will make all my efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Anand sir. It was really very insightful thing, because people have not really understood the challenges what industry is passing through, which is a very, very serious thing. So that is why I just wanted to really poke you more to give a really thoughtful discussion, so that people are more insightful on the challenges ahead. So thank you very much for sparing your time. And you should be there online because after one more speaker, then we will be having a few question sessions so that everyone are free to ask questions and all. So thank you very much, Anand.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now I would like to call upon Sri Sovan Mukherjee, the next Navy gentleman, Navy officer. He is CISO with FinCare Bank right now. So how the banking sector is finding the challenges and all, and how Osint is going to really help them, and talking on the mission exercise, what we are also doing, so that both things are gelled together to make people clear about why Osint and why with Python. Thank you, Sovanji. So over to you.
Thank you, Sushant sir. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I want to congratulate you all to join this course. Guys, you must appreciate that India is a digital superpower now. If you see our payment systems, if you see everywhere, if you have a mobile, you can do anything across day. You don't require anymore your wallet, or you can book anything. You can travel place A to place B, which is not possible anywhere in the outside the world. Now, every digitization has also increased the attack surface, because you have more number of applications. Every organization is running more number of applications, more customers, people are interacting. Now, what has happened that it increased the attack surface much more than previously 3-4 years ago, and the pandemic has just accelerated that. So what's happened is that, do we have the sufficient manpower or capability to protect all these things? If you ask me as a CISO, I will tell no. So we need more and more cyber engineers. When I say cyber engineers, what is the difference between an operator and an engineer? A person who drives a truck or a bus or a crane, who operates a crane, is an operator. It's a low-wage job. And when you say an engineer, person who make that thing, the more and more engineers, the India is producing more engineers than anywhere in the world. But if you see the employability, their capability, there is a clear gap. What is that? They are joining the ecosystem, trying to join the ecosystem. They become an operator. They are running multiple tools which are already existed. I will run Nessus, I will run Qualys, I will run Nmap. So this is an operator job. You cannot expect a high-paid, respectable life from an operator job. You guys are passing out as an engineer. You have to be an engineer. And the first thing is that you should know how to code, how to develop, how to build a solution. Then only you will be an engineer. That capability needs to be built up. So coming to that, why Osint and why Python? Guys, you know that we have a high-level language, C, C++, Java, and all these things. They are the mother of all programming languages. But of the late, Python has come out as the most, potent scripting solution tool or language. Till date, there are 3 languages where the major malware has been written. First, Python, very potent. Then Golang, and presently which is running on Rust. And believe me, they can create a malware within 100 lines, which a conventional operating system or conventional languages require thousands of lines of code. That is the power. And that's why you see Python is being used on your data science, your AI, your ML. And it has a huge potential in cybersecurity. Second thing is that why Osint? Guys, you cannot fight against everyone. In a cyber, what is the difference between a cyber space and a physical space? In a physical space, every country have a boundary. You need to record a passport, a visa to go anywhere to everywhere. But in a cyber world, it's in one world. Sitting here, you can talk to anyone through a collaboration tool like Teams, Zoom, or through WhatsApp. You can do a video conversation with anyone in America. Now, if people start restricting and keeping a boundary, the very intent of internet will go away. But with the advantage, there are disadvantages also. People sitting in anywhere in the world, China, Pakistan, or USA, or anywhere, Russia or Ukraine, they can attack us and they are attacking us. Now, how do you fight the war if you don't know or understand your enemy? You cannot fight against everyone, anyone and everyone. So you should have a credible intelligence that who is trying to attack me or who may probably attack me, and your defense would be based on that. And that's why you need to understand whenever we touch the computer or the mobile and do something in the digital world, here it creates a digital footprint. It's a credible digital footprint. Osint is such a OSINT is such a powerful tool, a powerful set of framework where you can go, and if you have the capability, you can understand that what is happening in the open source, in the dark web also. If anything is directed towards me, it also helps you or can make you capable. Python is having so much of, you take Anaconda, you take Scapy, you take Pandas. You will be able to do a real-time analysis of all your logs to understand if any malicious attacks are going on or activities are going on in my environment. That enables you to properly design and realign your defenses. I don't want to extend it further because already it's 10 past 9. But I want to tell you one thing, guys. This course, if you want to go and do in the open market from a reputed organization, probably Sans charge you $8,000. It is 6.5 lakh rupees. And the amount you are paying as a student and probably 2,000 rupees. And there is a purpose behind that, is that the mentor of this Cyber Vidyapith, if I say, I'll be very happy to say that I'm a disciple of him, Mr. Balaji Venkatesar. He is one of the stalwart in the cyber security domain across India. Every CISO knows it. If you go outside in the government organization also space, a lot of people knows him. That's not due to any other thing, but rather than his capability. He was in a very high-paying job, but he told someone, I want to build up 1 million cyber security defender for the country. We need that cyber security engineer who understand the code and who can design, rather than running Nmap or Nessus, they can develop a solution for India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. And guys, the first step is you need to understand the cyber space. What are the discipline, different verticals are there? How are tools runs? That's what the engineering. You run the principle behind that and you develop yourself. The engineering is not that you are operating a tool. We all are doing engineering and calling us engineering, and we are operating tools. We are an operator. To be an engineer, you know what is going behind the solution. You should be a perfect coder. And Python gives you that power. If you really go learn these things, follow the discipline, I am telling you. And lastly, friends, I want to tell you one thing. आप अपना फैमिली लो, आप अपना स्कूल लो, आप अपना कॉलेज लो, कहीं लो, ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस आपको कैपेबल बना सकते हैं, कामयाब नहीं बना सकते हैं. कामयाब खुद को बनना पड़ेगा. And coming from a general discipline of engineering, how to venture out into the cyber domain. Why cyber domain? There is a huge skill gap, huge resource gap. We are struggling to get. Whereas इंडिया में अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट इतना ज्यादा है, बट हमारा जो साइबर सिक्योरिटी के पोजीशंस है वो हम फिल नहीं कर पा रहे क्योंकि हमारे पास कैपेबल मैन पावर नहीं है. एंड टू ब्रिज दैट गैप, साइबर विद्यापीठ हैज स्टार्टेड दिस वंडरफुल इनिशिएटिव. आप अगर इसको सीरियसली लोगे और आप इसको फॉलो करोगे, आई कैन एश्योर यू टिल आफ्टर 20 years in this domain, I'm still learning every day because the technology is changing. What I know is relevant till today, because what I have learned till yesterday is relevant today. It may not be or partially relevant tomorrow, because the technology is changing so fast. AI is coming, generative AI. So the capability is going on. You need to up the ante to make yourself successful, make yourself capable, and make it a truly Atmanirbhar Bharat by engineering products. So that's all from my side. I will thank you all, to congratulate you all to join this wonderful course. Take it very seriously. And I know I have gone through certain course in Cyber Vidyapit. It will be exam oriented. They will test, they will challenge your capabilities. Please take those things. If you do it religiously, I am telling you, you will be much capable and way ahead some of your peers who are not doing this thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Sovan sir, for your word of appreciation for our mission. It's truly we have mentioned that we are doing the job with a thought. We have to make Bharat cyber resilient. No doubt about it. हम लोग capable हैं. केवल अपने mindset को change करने की आवश्यकता है कि ऐसा क्यों, वैसा क्यों, और जितना ज्यादा हम क्यों पे जाएंगे, उतना ही जल्दी हम अपने mindset को upgrade करके we will be in position to really do wonders for the country. So आपने सही बताया कि ऑपरेटर नहीं चाहिए, इंजीनियर चाहिए, और ये बात सही है कि आज इंजीनियर्स ज्यादातर लोग जो निकल कर जा रहे हैं वो ऑपरेशंस में काम करना चाह रहे हैं, और यही कारण है कि आईटी इंडस्ट्री में नौकरी अभी भी डे बिफोर यस्टरडे आई गॉट अ कॉल फ्रॉम वन ऑफ माय एलुमनाई and she was just telling me that the problem is even 22 batch people who have been offered the means the letter of intent was given, they are yet to get the offer letter to join the companies. So that's the challenge. Whereas the organizations what we are you were talking about, we get always the messages from those organizations, क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं चाहिए, स्किल सेट ये 5-6 दे दीजिए, 50,000 रुपए मिनिमम सैलरी टू स्टार्ट विथ, एंड दे ऑल आर गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस. So I'm really we are thinking like without any qualification, only with the skill set, which is very very important, because knowing English or Hindi is not that important, but rather having a hands-on experience is much more important, and that is how you are going to adhere in this particular cyber world. You need to be more and more hands-on. सभी को पर्दे के पीछे ही रहकर काम करना है, और अभी कुछ लोगों ने लिख कर भेजा भी है मैसेजेस के लोग दिख नहीं रहे हैं, तो सही में साइबर फील्ड के लोग, तो साइबर फील्ड के बहुत लोग दिखाई नहीं पड़ते हैं, ये भी सच है, वो दिख के काम नहीं करना चाहते क्योंकि उनका वो चैलेंज भी है. So with this, thank you, Soman sir, and you all are here for receiving the questions. So there, Piyush ji, Rupesh ji, all these gentlemen had been putting questions. So पीयूष जी और रुपेश जी से मैं शुरुआत करूंगा. आप लोग अपने क्वेश्चंस रख सकते हैं. You can unmute your mic and speak. Rupesh ji.
Sir, let Piyush ask his question. I have not much of question, but some discussion part or to be said part.
Can you repeat once again the question?
Sir, I was saying let Piyush ask his question, but he is not there, I believe, to ask the question. There were some submissions. My submissions are one thing. I have recently learned about the cyber calls of entity. So there's some dearth of manpower under question. One very important part is to get kids very young. In Afghanistan, you can find a kid of around 12 years of age and not helicopters by AK-47. So why we cannot have kids in India where now we are having kids having computers and laptops and whole nation getting developed is going through IT. IT is an aspirational entity for Indians today. So why we can't catch our kids very early in 6th, 7th, 8th when they are very young. And other part is there is one very important part is hands-on. The real thing which is missed in our institutions is hands-on. Whatever course we do in IT, the real hands-on, hands-on, and hands-on. Where the game is lost is getting hands-on and utilizing the hands. हमने बंदा बनाया और बंदे को सही जगह प्लेस तो इन जगहों पर गैप्स होती हैं. एक राइट टाइम पे पकड़ना, दूसरा बंदे को सही उस समय मिले हुए हो और वो सही स्किल को प्रैक्टिस कर रहा हो. तो आर मिसिंग इन पास as far as engineering graduates is concerned was more in giving them hands-on. अभी भी हमारे recent past में पिछले 10 सालों में अगर देखते हैं तो we have lost the quality of engineer production.
आपकी आवाज बहुत क्लियर नहीं आ रही है, थोड़ा
Other part was, sir, I will come to next part. Just a second, sir.
Sovan sir, Rajshekhar sir, Anand sir, anybody who can answer this, or Padi sir?
So, like, the question is not clear, to be very precisely.
वही
Yeah,
मुझे
the
भी लग
question
रहा,
is not
आवाज
clear.
क्लियर नहीं आ रही थी.
ಇದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇದು ಕಾಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು
No, the question is not clear. Anybody, Piyush, do you have any?
Audible now? Sir, am I audible now?
Yeah, yeah.
You can put your question.
So just let him put the
कुछ
question in
लगता
the
है कोई
chat.
दिक्कत है, रुपेश?
Let him put his question in the chat box. We will revert.
Yeah. We will revert back later then. Rupesh ji, you are having some question, I think. Okay.
Okay. ಹೌದಾ?
Okay. So I would then request Vishnu ji to take us along this code tantra. Now, how to access the code tantra, how the journey will start, and how all this. Yeah. Hello. So Vishnu ji, you can run through how to on the uses of code tantra.
ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಪರ್ವ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್.
अगर आप लोग म्यूट कर लेंगे, पीछे जो आवाज आ रही है, प्लीज म्यूट एंड Vishnu.
Just by the time Vishnu is doing, Sam Chauhan, you have raised your hand. Do you have any question?
Yeah, Shyam ji.
Yes, sir. So my question is, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, sir. So my question is, we have concept of cyber volunteers and cyber experts. So is Indian government trying to get any training to them about the cyber crimes and using them in the cyber scenarios, cyber crimes? Is there any training for that concept or anything?
Rajshekhar sir.
Mute Rajshekhar sir.
Rajshekhar sir, can please unmute yourself.
Already unmuted.
Yeah. आपके लिए प्रश्न था कि गवर्नमेंट कोई एक्सपर्ट बनाने के लिए कोई ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम और इस टाइप की कुछ चीजें कर रही हैं क्या?
On cyber security?
Yes.
See, there is one www.sitetrain.in. Sitetrain. This is from the National Crime Records Bureau, but the thing is that only the law enforcement agencies with an authorized email ID, with the departmental email ID can take part in this one. This is the one thing. There is other options also, like Cyber Dost is there, Cyber Yoda is there, Indian Cyber Crime Coordination is there. For the law enforcement agencies, in learning investigation through online, it is not a problem. Even, for example, Karma Yogi is there. That is other course, of course, but there are a lot of platforms which can where you can learn cyber crime investigations. This is the answer that you are expected, or any specific questions you have?
So, sir, my question. Yes, sir.
Mm.
My question is that is government trying to provide us any kind of internship about the cyber crimes and the cyber forensics? Is there any chances that we get something internship like from the government?
Okay. Now, yeah, Departmental Forensic Science Services, DFSS is there. And in Delhi, if you are in Delhi, there is one IFSO, Intelligence Vision and Strategic Office in the under the Delhi Police. Now, how to enter it, that one? Now, these days, permanent job is not available, as you know, contractual basis. Now, you have to have some certification in cyber crime, cyber issues, like masters, masters in cyber security, or masters in cyber information technology, or ICT information cyber technology, or something, master in cyber forensics, or something like that. The one basic course is the PGDCLF, Postgraduate Diploma in Cyber Law and Cyber Forensics from the National Law School of India University. It is available in Bhopal, Delhi, Jodhpur, and Bangalore also. It is a 1-year course. So like this, there are 2 years course also in Masters in Cyber Security in IGNOU and all those things. Do these courses, get the certification, and get into a contractual basis, and this one. See, the cyber security issues, we will learn more, especially on the forensic level, while doing the investigation or actually doing it in the practical field. You learn tens of books and all those things that can never replace you doing special enhance, for example, imaging, cloning, using NKS, using FTK software, using all NPAP, Nmapping, Maltego, and this one. I also suggest you one thing: go to Cisco website, or if you are in the company, then they will offer you some ethical hacking courses, certified forensic investigator, certified ethical hacker. Go to these websites, go to this one, and there is a paid courses also. Get some certifications on this ethical hacking or certified forensic investigator and all those things. That's a very good course, especially you work on the command prompt and in a virtual lab, virtual environment with virtual VM machines. Get this one, you will get a lot of ideas, lot of intelligence, and you will get be recruited from the companies also as a CISO or a certified ethical activity, or in the government laboratories, forensic laboratories, where you can go as a contractual basis, and you can increase your expertise, and it will increase your CV. Then slowly within 2-3 years, of course, you have to work very hard, take as many cases in the police also, and work onto it, give a valuable guidance, and you can become an asset to the police department, because we rely a lot on the forensic investigation, forensic science expert opinion under 45 section 45 of the Indian Evidence Act. Anything more you want a specific answer, please?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to brief you that the mentor for the program, chief mentor, our chief mentor, Sri Balaji Venkateshwar, is in hospital because he had a problem of high BP. So that is why he couldn't join the session to really conduct the whole program. I would just brief about him that he is having 25 plus years of experience in this particular domain. And what Suvan sir was mentioning, that the man known in the industry for long started his career from State Bank of India, and then means he was a hardcore banker, from there to the real security person, and then to Wipro and Qualcomm and IDFC First Bank, all these places. He had been working at the helm of affair and leading from front as the leader. And he is sitting on various enforcement agencies as a member advisory board and all, and co-chair for CII and all. He is sitting over there. So a man really known in this industry, it would have been better we would have all listened him, but somehow because of his illness, he couldn't join the show. So I would, we all pray that he should be through by tomorrow morning, and the session starts from 26th evening in a full, the way we were looking today even. So that is what, and then Vishnuji, you can kindly show us how the people who have joined the program can use the code tantra and access the code tantra. Vishnuji. Vishnuji, are you there? Vishnuji?
Sir, if Vishnuji is not able to respond, I will show how to.
Okay, okay. Yeah, please.
Just a second, sir. So I will share my screen now. Let me see how to do it. Share a screen. Host, please share my screen. This is Rupesh Trivedi.
Yeah. By the way, he is again a power man also, and a C&I person, and he is already doing one program which is state-of-art program of ours, which is PG Diploma in Cyber Defense. So yes, Rupesh ji, please.
So first, we will go to the website of Code Tantra. I will start from very basic. I will type Code Tantra at Google. Enter. This is Code Tantra. Teach and learn everywhere. So when we go to this link, it will start with an institution when we go for login. So first you have to check that it is your institution or not. If it is not your institution, go to not your, wait a minute, just a second. I think I have not shared my screen, or it is visible. Excuse me.
Yeah, sir, it is visible.
My screen is visible.
Visible, sir, visible.
So now we have to select our institution. For that, we have to enter 3 or more characters of the name of our institution. So we will type cyber. It is Cyber Vidyapeeth. So there are some selections for Cyber Vidyapeeth. One is Cyber V, Cyber Vidyapeeth.Jharkhand. And the third one is cybervidyapeeth.codetantra.com. So here we log in with this cybervidyapeeth.codetantra.com. Then password. So this is the screen with your institution. What classes, meetings, courses are available, tests are available. So this is the courses section. Here the available courses which you are supposed to do is available. Like we will take the basics of networking. Yeah. So shall I continue? We will take the first chapter. What is computer network? Here, this is the question number 1. It is discussing about a network. You have to read the theory. There will be 2 parts. Here it is only theory part. If it is a something where programming language, you will be having theory as well as exercises to do. So here it is a theoretical subject. So it is theory and question answer kind of part. In its simplest form, a network is nothing more than 2 connected computers and so on about of the theory. When you read it, you will submit. If there is a question, you have to submit the answer. You have to read it completely, read it. There will be some questions you have to answer and then click on submit. After submitting, you have to go for next. So when you will go to next, there will be next set of the next section of the same topic. This way you can do your theory or coding part also. Coding is also available in Code Tantra, but not in this chapter, because this is totally theoretical subject. This whole content is prepared by Bala sir, as I remember. Now we will go to other subject, taming Python scripting for violence. So introduction of offensive Python. This is again theoretical part. By the way, recently we have moved out of programming the Python, as we have completed that part. Otherwise, I would have been in a position to show you the programming part also. This is how you have to learn with Code Tantra. As far as courseware is concerned, and for the attending the classes, you have to go into this course meeting section, classes or meeting section. On the this is the place, this is the area where the class is scheduled. This is the timing 7:30 to 10. You click on it, you will be able to join the class from here. Today class is not started because we are working on Zoom. And this is how Code Tantra works. You can appear in tests also if there is a test. As there is no test available, it is showing no test. In this period, there is no test result also. If you require any help, on the login page only, there is a help detail available. That you will be getting from Bala sir, our team. And most of the problems will be solved by Cyber Vidyapeeth team only. Something wrong? We are
Trying to log in to different domain.
I'm not in my institution. So this is a brief snapshot of Code Tantra. This is where you can find the support numbers.
Hello, am I audible now?
Hello, yeah, you are audible.
Yeah. Okay, just I want to show them how they can reset their password and access Code Tantra platform.
To reset the password,
you can unshare your screen now.
Okay. Just a minute. Sir, आप admin से आप मुझे unshare कर दीजिए, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think my screen must be visible now.
No,
Yes,
it's not visible.
Yes, sir, visible.
Visible. Great.
Ah.
So you must have received an email from support@codetantra.com. So in this email, you need to first click on this first link, and you need to enter this OTP there, and you will get an option to set your password. Your email will be your username, and the password that you will set here will be your password. Then you need to click on the second link. And you need to enter your email here and then your created password here. And you will see this window. You need to go to courses. And you will get your courses listed here. Like you are enrolled for open source intelligence using Python. So you will get this course there. You need to click on it and you will get all the chapters listed there. You need to go to the first chapter. Then you need to go to the first section, like Introduction to Python Programming. So you need to go through this content and you can then click on submit. Then click on next and you will be redirected to the next page. You need to go through these contents and you need to submit and then click on the next and you will be redirected to the next chapter. You can close this window from here. Then you can move to the next section, complete all those. And at the end, you will get like this. You need to complete all the sections from each of the chapter available to you. These are the chapters available. So I request everyone to first go to your email, reset your password, and then using your email and your new password, log into Code Tantra and access your course materials. Any question, anyone?
I would like to add one thing. Code Tantra is a very good tool to do coding. It teaches you discipline as well as it keeps you attached with the code. It is a very good tool.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, please.
We haven't received any mail resetting our password till now.
Have you gone into, means by any chance, has it reached into spam and all? Because it
Yes.
has been sent. If not, then you can, if you have not received, please send a mail on mentor@cybervidyapeeth.in and you will get the response.
Okay, sir.
If you are on Telegram channel, our Telegram
This
channel,
question,
message there.
Sasankji, let me answer this
Yeah,
question.
yes.
Till yesterday night, 10:30, whoever has applied, they have been sent mail. Check your spam box. If it is not there, please get back to us. Anyone who has applied after 10 o'clock tomorrow night, their mail will reach tomorrow morning. Okay. And one thing is very mandatory, that each one of you should be there on Telegram. It's a mandatory components. So in the mail itself, we have sent you the link for Telegram, and join that, because all our communication will happen on Telegram, not on mails. First mail you will get it, after that all communication on Telegram. So be on Telegram, because that's a place where we can collaborate and will allow you to post something. Don't ask repetitive questions or don't ask anything which are outside the content. Be disciplined there. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions, anyone?
Yes, sir. So I had enrolled in the Python course, the previous course, Osint also. So my previous course has been disappeared from the Code Tantra.
Yeah, because the course has been finished, so you are not eligible to continue in that course because that exam has happened already. So you will not be eligible to see the course material. If you have taken the Osint course, then you will be eligible to see it again.
Yes, sir. I have taken.
So you'll get access to it. You will get access to it. Go and search for that. You will get access to it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So I think it is all about today's opening session, because it was the session to hear the experts of the industry and the experts who have been working for long, so that we get the complete insight of the program, and at the same time understand about what is we are going to achieve out of this program. So I hope this all Rajshekar sir, Padi sir, Anand sir, Soban sir has given a lot of thought on that. And now on from 26th evening, same time, 7:30 p.m. The program will be available live, and please get yourself registered if you are not got yourself registered on Telegram. Please be there, as your chief mentor mentioned already, that all communications will be there only, so that whatever program, whatever time, whatever any change is there, you will be
That
getting.
is a Sasangji.
Yeah.
Let me add one more point. Yeah, so it's a very interestingly, there are a lot of people, those who have volunteered to conduct some advanced training on Python. So you'll have a very, very interesting and surprise guest on 26th. He's Director General of Police from Jharkhand. He's heads the CID. He'll be taking your, Python, initial classes. So despite his busy schedules, he said, I must contribute something to this journey. And he has agreed to, continue with the training for Python for all of you. And he has an amazing persona. Other than that, he is an IPS officer and very senior person. He is a true academician that I have interacted with so far, and very well groomed on OSINT components. So you will have something very interesting, insights from a real practitioner of policings and using OSINT, and the basic training of Python. Over to you, Sasangji.
Thank you, Balaji. It was great listening about day after tomorrow's program also, that Shri Anurag Gupta ji will be there. Great. So I hope we are through with whatever questions were there, whatever dilemma, if anyone was having, all that answer is given. And if anything is by any chance still missed out, you will be getting certainly the answers on 26th in any case. And whoever are still planning, because I got in between some calls that they are trying for registering the program in this program. They are free. Please join. And I've already received two persons who have already joined in between. So anybody and everybody who wants to contribute towards this journey, they are welcome even now. And as we initially mentioned also, that what we are doing is as a mission, not as a profession and all. So it is our mission to create large pool of cyber defenders to make Bharat cyber resilient. So help this Cyber Vidyapeeth's mission, so that we all put together become Atmanirbhar and our country becomes cyber resilient. Thank you. Jai Bharat, Jai Hind, Vande Matram. Namaskar.
Jai Bharat. Jai Hind, sir.
Thank you very much, Sasank sir, for inviting me. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you.
we wish Balaji sir to have a safe whatever this thing, and healthy. Tomorrow he will come back with all vigor, and this thing, everything will be all right. Our wishes.
Thank you so much.
You have seen that despite of all his BP, he couldn't stop himself. We had said that please remain cool, but still, you know that the people who are bubbling with dynamism and do something for this country, they couldn't stop themselves. So that is what was clearly.
7:20, he called me up.
Yeah.
Are you joining in? I said, yes, I'm joining in.
Thank you so much.
We swim well.
Thank
He is really bubbling with dynamism, and I pay full respect for the real passion for this particular mission. And we are sure with the support of all our officers from Navy, Army, then Air Force who have joined in the program, and at the same time some of the police officers and students, we are going to make Bharat cyber resilient 100%. And thank you very much once again. Jai Bharat, Jai Hind. Vande Mataram.
Thank you.